Hi, what's up, Rabbit Around Nerds? We're on to the next part of my Deus Ex Human Evolution Director's Cut Let's Play. So in the previous part, I basically have made my way through the outer dock areas to meet my contact, which turns out to be the very person who was interrogating me aboard the ship. And she's now sent me to two things. One, to find Burke, my credentials. In Burke's office, and two, to find her contact who will allow me to get access to more high-tech gear, for some gear. I also reprogrammed the turrets so that it would hopefully clear this bay of enemies for me. Looks like it's done quite nicely.
Security credentials must be carried at all times. You may be asked to produce said credentials by security personnel. Please comply.
What the hell is that? You have to get out here.
Come on then. Come see my pet. Go on, come down.
Cargo crew to Sector Alpha. Cargo crew to Alpha.
Perfect. That didn't quite according to plan.
Civilian contractors must stay within designated areas. Entering restricted areas will result in termination
I've read that one before.
and prosecution. Cargo crew to Sector Alpha. Cargo crew to Alpha. Be advised, new personnel should report to Security Central for biometric scan.
I can't hack it. Yep. Oh, the irritant of...
Security credentials must be carried at all times. You may be asked to produce said credentials by security personnel. Please comply.
Okay. What if that's terminal control here?
Orders have been rescinded. New flight schedules will be distributed as soon as possible.
Yes. GH2477J1. Ah. Same control as the other one.
Security credentials must be carried at all times. You may be asked to produce said credentials by security personnel. Please comply.
Access granted.
There we go. There's an event, there's always an event. So always check events, because sometimes it's useful to know where they can lead you. I'll come back to that. I'll off at the bell tower, just don't behind anything me on the mirror at all. This is a great lift. Fabric roof. Yeah, read that one before. There's trouble. I'll look at that vent when I go back.
Are you Quinn?
Well, if it ain't the bloody Grim Reaper himself.
What are you talking about? Christ almighty, lad. You got half the garrison shitting themselves and afraid you got on patrol. Look, I don't want no trouble. You hear? The commander said to help you. That's what I'll do. Just don't kill me, all right? I got children. 8 of them. Well, look, I don't really have 8, but... All right, I don't really have any. Just don't fucking shoot me.
Relax. I'm not here to hurt you.
Well, whether that's true or not, I'll take some comfort knowing there's 3 inches of bulletproof glass between us.
Look, Keitner said you can help me. Can you?
Yeah, she told me to be expecting you. But that was ages ago. What are you trying to pull here? We're risking our lives diverting attention away from you, covering your tracks. There's limits to how much we can sweep under the rug before the dogs start digging. It's a good thing she can find your clearance to this section of the base. I'd hate to see where you'd end up otherwise.
I'm grateful, but can we get on with it? I understand you run a nice little sideline in procurement.
Aye. From time to time you might say being inclined to do a little, how should we call it? Bartering. On the side. Since the commander signed off on it, I suppose I could open my stock to you. For a price, that is.
You mean I have to pay?
What? Of course you have to bloody well pay. I ain't exactly a fucking armory quartermaster down here. I'm just a civvy contractor trying to make ends meet. This ain't a bleeding charity.
Considering the circumstances...
Circumstances? What, that you're a fugitive and I'm risking my neck just talking to you? What are you trying to pull here? Although, I don't suppose you had anything to do with the stasis pod that was saved back on the ship.
How do you know about that?
Ah, so it was you, eh? Well, let's just say I have me sources and your little random act of kindness didn't go unnoticed. Tell you what, I'll give you a discount on me wares. Just no freebies or handouts. But now that I think of it, if you're looking for a little something for nothing and don't mind a little legwork, I've got an errand that could use running. Consider it a special offer of sorts. Interested?
What exactly do you do here, Quinn?
In a more civilized world, you might say I pass for the base's lead maintenance engineer. But if you look at it from Beltar's point of view, I might as well just be a glorified janitor. Pays good though, so, not complaining.
If the pay is good, why the underground market?
Well, why not? You see, civilian contractors operate under different jurisdiction when it comes to bringing outside goods into the base. So while the rank and file grunts can only order and receive essentials, toothpaste and the like, I, being the entrepreneurial chap that I am, from a more robust catalogue of goods and services. You know the sort. Smokes, beverages, and gentleman's literature.
How does this involve weapons?
Now, let me finish. As an enterprising fellow, I require an exchange of valuables for these slightly less than essential supplies, and often receive some very non-civilian contractor-regulated equipment in exchange, if you catch my drift. Now, normally, I launder my stock through a contact on the mainland, but a deal in Shanghai recently fell through, so lucky for you, I've got some excess inventory to move. Consider this whole arrangement a matter of fortunate timing.
And Keitner is okay with all of this?
Not exactly. You see, some time ago, the commander got wind of my little operation down here. But before she could throw me in the brig, I offered her something I knew she couldn't refuse. Information. I ain't bragging, but I'd managed to build myself quite a little network of sparrows and gophers. I'd known for a while that she'd been at odds with that prick Burke. In the end, we reached a rather simple mutual agreement. I keep her in the loop, and she keeps my neck out of the noose, so to speak.
What can you tell me about this base?
Nothing you don't know, probably. To the outside world, it's a Beltar naval logistics headquarters and supply point for their Pacific operations. Beneath the surface, though, it's much, much more.
How so?
Look, nothing personal, mate, but I prefer if the commander did most of the informing. As far as I'm concerned, the less I know, and more importantly, the less I say in this matter, the better off we all are.
Tell me about the commander, Keitner.
Lieutenant Commander, officially. But the grunts don't pay no mind to that. She's the commander as far as they're concerned. It's the Reds who stick to the formalities, you see. Because they're Burke's boys. The spooks. Special operations. You might say there's a bit of a division of loyalty among the troops.
Between Keitner's men and Burke's?
Aye. Since time immemorial, there's always been a rivalry of sorts between grunts and spooks. I always assumed it came down to ego. But it's different here. Probably because Burke's different.
What do you mean?
Well, for a start, the man might be a righteous prick, but he's got the respect of his men. And the higher-ups think he's a visionary based on some fancy tech he drummed up a few years back. In other words, the man's got a lot of influence and a lot of power and, Well, I don't think that old proverb needs repeating here.
All right, tell me about this special offer.
Look, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but this base is packing some serious heat. Especially in the form of those walking brick shithouse boxcars. If you give me a few odds and ends, I might be able to whip up a little something to make getting around easier, if you catch my meaning.
What kind of something are we talking about here?
Nothing fancy. Just a 329 series MPRS.
A rocket launcher?
That's right, mate. And custom built. By yours truly, of course. You see, while I might be able to get my fingers on some low-level arms, I'm a little restricted when it comes to military-grade bells and whistles. And I'm itching to try out a new trigger propulsion mix. Maybe even recalibrate the guidance system for some extra punch.
I'm not convinced jury-rigged explosives are exactly my style.
Look, I'm not telling you how to do your job or anything, but you might want to consider carrying a little extra insurance while you're here. Look, all you gotta do is find me some components. I'll do the rest. An earlier boat had a shipment of 329s, but I wasn't able to poach any of them before they made it to the armory. Luckily, little Sparrow in my employ managed to lose one through maintenance circulation, but he got himself shit canned before I could collect. Now my little bute's lying around the base somewhere in bloody pieces. The launcher, I mean, not the wee man. Though, no idea really happened to him.
Right, so, long story short, you need me to find the parts and bring them back to you.
Yeah, that about sums it up, I'd say. Just find me the trigger module, scope assembly, and launcher barrel, and we're in business. I can scrape up the rest from leftovers here in the shop.
I'll see what I can find. Any idea where they are?
If I knew that, I would have picked them up myself. You're just gonna have to make do and keep your nose to the ground. Check the obvious places first, like the cargo and receiving areas. Worst case, someone found one of the parts and brought it to administration. I looked there last.
Got it.
What are you buying?
That's a bit better.
Satisfaction guaranteed. Unless, of course, you fuck it up yourself.
That's a bit healthier now. Versus 1. Queer hacking is just so useful. Right. Let's find out where this vent leads. No, particularly exciting. options. Okay, so I've met Quinn. So it's been a great place in this episode. So I've been very much watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next part. Thank you.